Now it's not only ABC, the previously what we have discussed, generalized form of linear equation. Here I told you a linear equation of the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a not equal to 0 and b not equal to 0 is called a linear equation. Or otherwise you can take any constants. Here what is this? A and b are called? A and b are called non-zero constants. They are called non-zero constants. So not only a and b, you can consider something like a1 b1 or a2 b2. Is that? See here also clearly a1 b1 are real numbers. Here clearly a1 b1 is not equal to 0 and a2 b2 is not equal to 0. Those are the two examples given there. So here what we need to understand, a linear equation in two variable will be of the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a not equal to 0 and b not equal to 0. That's how the generalized form of linear equation looks like. Now let's talk about your solutions of linear equations. Solutions of linear equations. Let's talk about what are solutions of linear equations looks like. What exactly solutions are. When you talk linear equation one variable, take a simple example, something like 2x plus 5 is equal to 9. Now the solution of this linear equation is the value of this variable x which satisfies this particular equation. Obviously, how do you define solution of this equation in one variable? Obviously, it defines the value of this variable x which satisfies this particular equation is called the solution of linear equation in one variable. Similarly, extending the same concept, this concept of solution of linear equation in one variable, let's understand what is solution of linear equation in one variable. Obviously, the value of this variable x, in this equation which satisfies this equation is called a solution of this linear equation in one variable. Clearly, how will you x is equal to 2 will satisfy now? You put x is equal to 2 here, something like 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 5 9. Obviously, it will satisfy this equation. Or the other way of solving this is obviously 2x is nothing but 9 minus 2x is equal to 9 minus 5 is 4. When you divide by 2, obviously x is equal to is the answer there. So here, what exactly the solution is? The solution of linear equations is nothing but it's the value of this variable x. The value of this variable x which satisfies this particular equation is called solution of linear equation in one variable. Extending the same concept, if you extend the same concept to two variables, it's something like this. What is that? Something like you have a simple equation, something like, let's take a simple example, something like 2x plus 3y is equal to some 6 plus 4, 10. Let's take simple example. 2x plus 3y is equal to 10. Let's simple example, a linear equation in two variables. So here if you observe, what is the solution of this equation is? Obviously, the solution of this equation is nothing but it's the values of variables x and y which satisfies this particular equation. So what is the solution of this equation is? Linear equation two variables is it's the values of this variable x and y which satisfies this particular equation is called a solution of linear equation in two variables. Now the most important part, what you need to understand here is, let's say if you have a linear equation in one variable, something like the previous example 2x plus 5 is equal to 9. Here, getting the value of this variable x is very simple. What do you do? Your 2x is nothing but 9 minus 5. Okay, 2x is nothing but your 4, your x is nothing but 2. It's easy to find. When it is, you have an equation in one variable. Now, if you have a linear equation in one variable, finding the solution of this equation is very simple. But the problem with linear equation in two variables is, here, when it comes to linear equation in two variables, here, you cannot find the values of this variable x and y using only one equation. So if you have a linear equation in two variables, it's compulsory that there should be another equation. Now, solving those two equations, you'll get the values of the variables x and y, and that's how you define what you call the solutions of linear equation in two variables. Something like, if I'll take another equation, something like 3x minus 5y is equal to 7. Okay, I have another equation in what you call two variable x and y. So I have these two equations. I can solve these two equations, this one and this one, and I can easily get the values of x and y. Is that the values of the variables x and y? And that's how we get the solution of this equation. So it's compulsory that whenever you're talking about the solutions of linear equations in two variables, it's compulsory that, to get the solutions of these two variables, x and y, you need to have two equations in two variables, x and y. then only you can solve them and get the solution of this equation. So let me give you a simple example. How will you formulate what you call this linear equations in two variables? Let me give you an example to make you understand that. Let's take Arnav. Arnav has gone to the market. He bought 2 pens, 2 books and 2 pens. It's costing him 40 rupees. Let's say he bought 2 pens and 2 books. It costing him 40 rupees. Again, he bought something like 4 books and 2 pens. Is costing him 60 rupees. Right? It's costing him 60 rupees. Now, how will you formulate this linear equation 2 variable using the given data and get the pricing of each of these books, book and pen? Let's say, to make you understand, how will you formulate linear equation 2 variables in our day-to-day problems? Something like, for example, Arnav has gone to the market, he bought 2 books and 2 pens and it has costed him 40 rupees. Similarly, he bought again 4 books and 2 pens. It costed him around 60 rupees. So here you need to find you need to formulate this into linear equation 2 variables and then find the values of those variables, which will give you the amount we have spent on books and pen. Let's understand. Here, let us assume the cost of each book is X. Similarly, the cost of each pen is Y. Let us consider 2 variables X and Y. Let's say, the cost of each book is X and similarly the cost of each pen is Y. Now, initially, according to initial data, here if you observe, 2 books and 2 pens, it's costing him 40 rupees. Okay, 2 books, that is 2X, plus 2 pens, that is 2Y. What is the total amount you have spent? 40. So, if X is the number of rupees, if the cost of each book is X, similarly the cost of each pen is Y. So, how many books you bought? 2 books. So, total cost is 2X. How many pens you bought? 2 pens. So, total cost is 2Y. The sum of this cost is nothing but 40 rupees. So that's how you can formulate linear equation in 2 variables, something like 2x plus 2y equal to 40. This is your first information. Now, according to second information, what is happening? Similarly, according to second information, what is that? 4 books. Each book costs X rupees. So 4 books will cost 4X rupees. Similarly, 2 pens. Each pen costs Y rupees. So 2 pens cost 2Y rupees. So total amount spent is 60. So this is another equation. So here, this is your first equation, linear equation in 2 variables. This is your second equation based on the information what is provided, right? Now what we need to find here, we need to find X and Y. What is X and Y? Obviously your X and Y is nothing but your what? The values of each book and pen. So solving 1 and 2. Let's solve 1 and 2. Simple example, 1 and 2. Solve 1 and 2. How will you solve? Okay, this is 2x plus 2y is equal to 40 and 4x plus 2y is equal to 60. Let's solve this. So how will you write? I'll write something like 4x. Let's write this first for our convenience. The other equation is 2x plus 2y is equal to 40. We need to solve this. How will you solve this? Obviously, what I'll do is I'll subtract this. If I'll subtract, what is 4x minus 2x? Obviously, it is 2x. What is 2y minus 2y? It's 0. Is that 60 minus 40 is 20. So 2x is 20. So if you divide x 20 by 2, it is 10. So what is the value of each book is 10 rupees. Similarly, you got x as 10. Substitute this in 1. Let's substitute this in 1. So what is that? If you have, what is the first information you have? 2x plus 2y is equal to 40. So if you substitute x is equal to 10 here, so 2 into 10 plus 2y is equal to 40. So obviously this is 20 plus 2y is equal to 40. So what is 2y? Obviously 2y is nothing but
10,
40 minus 20. That is 20, which is
10.
obviously 10. Is that? So here, if you understand this entire, entire concept here what we are understanding here, first we are formulating a linear equation in two variables based on the given information. After that, we are finding the solution of this variables x and y. So how will you solve this equation? This obviously, so you have two equations in variables x and y. Solve this equation either by equating coefficients, means equate the coefficients and subtract them or add them, then get the values of this variable x and y. So what are the two things you're understanding here? First, how you formulate the information given into linear equation in two variables. Linear equation in two variables. Secondly, here you are finding the solution. Here, this is called formulating linear equation in two variables, and this entire concept is called finding the solution of linear equations. So two things we are doing here. So I'm sure moreover you have understood that by taking this simple example, how will you formulate a linear equation? Second thing, how will you find the solution of linear equation? Guys, I'm sure it's clear. Linear equation satisfies that particular equations. So that's how you define solution of linear equations. So remember, the solution of linear equations is nothing but it's a values of the variables x and y which satisfies that particular equation is called solutions of linear equations in two variables. It's called solution of linear equations in two variables.